Last January, I finally singed Martin Whistler out in one of the rim planets. Since then, I've been hunting down the last of his murdering cult. We call them Trancers, slaves to Whistler's psychic power. Not really alive, and not dead enough. It's July now, and I'm tired. Real tired.
Trancers was released in the UK on November 7th, 1984, and later in the States on the 22nd of May 1985. The film was directed and produced by Charles Band through Empire Pictures, his company responsible for many cult classics such as Reanimator and From Beyond. Band, like Roger Corman, targeted the low-budget movies of the 80s and the 90s, first with his now defunct production company Empire Pictures, and later with All Moon Features, which is noted for movies like the Puppet Master franchise. Trancers, or Future Cop as it was test released, was a small budget production of around $400,000 and was made with the intention of capturing the home video rental market, as that was a far more lucrative way of making money off independent films at the time. The film, however, received a short cinematic release and turned into a huge success and gained a cult following, later leading to the launch of a successful but low-quality franchise of the same name. After the Great Quake leaves LA underwater, Angel City cop and Trancers hunter Jack Deth, a Philip Marlowe-esque police detective from the 23rd century, is sent on a potential one-way mission by the elders of the city council to hunt down Martin Whistler, a criminal mastermind and Deth's nemesis, who has sent himself back in time to 1985 LA to eliminate the future city council's ancestors. Whistler's psychic abilities allow him to convert individuals into mindless zombie-like creatures called Trancers that he can control. Upon initiating his chase through time, Deth wakes up to find himself in the body of his ancestor, a journalist named Phil Defton. Deth then enlists the help of Lena, Phil's punk girlfriend, who after some persuasion agrees to help him assimilate to the 80s LA and stop Whistler from destroying the future. Deth is equipped to enable his quest with 2 photographs of the ancestors and a watch that allows him to slow 1 second down to 10, and 2 vials of the time travel drug. The film stars Tim Thomerson in the dual role of Jack Deth and his 1980s ancestor Phil Defton. After Trancers, Thomerson became a familiar face in the low-budget indie films, starring in all 4 of the Trancers sequels, Ballman, as well as in more mainstream movies like Near Dark and Air America. Despite his acting prowess and his portrayal of Jack Deth, Tim never got the big break he deserved. Nonetheless, he did adorn many video stores through his work on low-budget films, as Band and Thomerson had a multitude of works on shared credit, including but not limited to the 3D and Mad Max cash-in that was Metal Storm, The Destruction of Jared Sin in 1983. Oscar-winning starlet Helen Hunt plays Jack's love interest Lena. Helen's father was a good friend of Charles Band, and had worked with Tim Thomerson on the sitcom The Two of Us for CBS. Despite her success in the 90s, she stayed committed to the series and has made appearances in both Trancers 2, the short City of Lost Angels, and briefly in Trancers 3. Hunt, of course, is best known for her performances in Twister and As Good as It Gets. Art LaFleur plays McNulty. LaFleur's success as an actor was limited to the low-budget cinema. He will best be known for his appearance as the Tooth Fairy in the Santa Claus movies with Tim Allen, and of course in the iconic fantasy film Field of Dreams, who he starred alongside co-star Anne Seymour, a veteran star of stage and screen. Seymour plays Chairman Margaret Ashe. Originally, Betty Davis was initially considered for the role but wasn't able to take the part. Trancers also stars Michael Stefani, who plays the role of the evil mastermind Martin Whistler.
Greetings to the Council. As you may have gathered, I have survived the pathetic trap set by Trooper Deth on Recon 7. For 12 long years you have hunted my disciples like dogs. Now my day of vengeance is at hand. I've synthesized your time drug, and in a moment shall retreat down the dark corridors of history. Know that it is I who am solely responsible for your demise. One by one your ancestors shall be murdered, and you, their progeny, shall cease to exist. Then shall I return, join my legion, and claim the seat of power for my own. Adieu. Adieu.
Chairman Spencer is played by the well-known character actor Richard Hurd, who I remember fondly for starring as the visitor John in the miniseries V. Tim Thomerson had personally recommended both Helen Hunt and Biff Maynard to the filmmakers. Maynard plays Chairman Ash's ancestor. Maynard was actually drunk while playing Hap Ashby, the drunk hobo, and Thomerson had to literally manhandle Biff because he was out of his mind. Biff had no idea what he was supposed to be doing or where he was supposed to be. Moreover, the Pro Bowl tooth that Ashby spits out was Biff Maynard's actual tooth. Thomerson later gave Maynard money after the shoot to get the tooth repaired, so tight was the budget. The script of the film was written by Danny Bilson and Paul DeMeo. The film was based on a story treatment that Charles Band received. However, very little of the original story treatment remained apart from the film's unique time travel method. People can travel back in time by injecting themselves with a drug that allows them to take over the body of an ancestor, perhaps what later inspired Assassin's Creed's creators. The script went through very little development and was pretty much put straight into production. Whilst this may have been the norm for the rental market, I'm sure the movie would have benefited from some serious script development. Both Danny and Paul teamed up again for the 90s TV series The Flash, which Tim Thomerson also starred in, and they wrote the script for the Joe Johnston's unfair box office disappointment but fondly loved cult classic The Rocketeer. They later worked on the scripts for games like GoldenEye and Darksiders 2 as well. The film score was composed and written by Phil Davis and Mark Ryder. They both worked together on the Schlockfest movie Society. The film score featured obvious nods to Brad Fiddel's Terminator and Vangelis' score for Blade Runner. While the score holds its own, it may have been overused by being part of both Trancers 1, 1.5, 2 and 3, but I personally love the score regardless of that, particularly the Los Angeles cue, where Jack goes scuba hunting for artifacts in the sunken remains of LA. Cinematography for the film was provided by Matt Galberg, who has worked on Reanimator and classics such as Robot Jocks and the House film series, most of which have been produced by Charles Band. Given the budget, Mac masterfully made use of neon lights to craft a tech noir vibe for the film, which is a feat to achieve in itself, given most of the shoot was done on location downtown LA. Just like the carefully crafted cinematography in the given budget, Jack Deth's car was a 1955 Mercury Montclair that was heavily modified by Gene Winfield, who built the spinners and the full-size cars for Blade Runner in 1982. After Empire Pictures folded in 1988, Charles Band created All Moon Features and tapped into his back catalogue and released a total of 5 sequels, starting in 1991 with Trancers 2, followed by Trancers 3, which had a healthy $2 million budget, Trancers 4 and 5, which was shot back to back, and Trancers 6, which was released with a very progressive recasting of Jack, played by a female actor, in 2002. A short movie from 1988 that was part of an unreleased anthology film called Pulse Pounders was also released in 2013 as Trancers City of Lost Angels, after being rediscovered, and is classed as Trancers 1.5. The franchise doesn't limit itself to just films, and has a series of comic books as well. In 1991, Eternity Comics released Trancers, The Adventures of Jack Deth, a 2-issue series which featured the tagline, "All new adventures based on 2 hit films." And also in 2015, Action Labs Comics released Full Moon Features presents Trancers, a 3-issue series. My own memories of seeing Trancers was in 1989. As with many movies, it was on Alex Cox's Sunday evening show, Moviedrome.
Trancers is a rip-off of Blade Runner with a substantial nod to the Terminator. In that sense, its taste is excellent. It has the time-traveling cops and the flying police cars. But its eyes are bigger than its appetite. Everything in this film is much too clean. Even the street people are freshly washed and laundered.
The film was impressive and I loved it instantly. However, on rewatching, the film's misguided narrative, as well as a few unfortunate gaffes, were difficult to ignore. For instance, the long second device is supposed to stretch out 1 second of time to appear as 10 seconds. First time it lasts for 90 seconds, and we see a bullet moving at well under 1 mile per hour, indicating a reduction factor of much more than 10. The second time the effect lasts for about 45 seconds. Similarly, when Deth and Lena are travelling along in the T-Bird after the shopping mall incident, it is obvious that the car is on a trailer, as they appear to be higher than the passing traffic. Also, if you do observe Jack's steering wheel actions, which appear to be quite erratic at times, the car doesn't seem to appear to copy his movements. However, despite these errors and Trance's low budget, I still love this movie. Sure, it riffs off the Terminator and Blade Runner, but it also has a fantastic leading Thomerson and a great electronic score. One of the most iconic scenes of the film is the Santa Claus as a Trancer, along with a punk rock version of Jingle Bells. This begs the question, is Trancers perhaps a Christmas movie? Trancers is certainly not perfect by a multitude of standards. I would have loved to see the script given more time in the future in order to establish Deth's character, as well as the retro-futuristic world the story is set in. However, as Alex Cox said, its eyes are much bigger than its appetite, but was rushed in the production phase in order to hit the video stores. Moreover, the movie posters of Trancers was definitely something of clickbait of the 80s, as Jack Deth never appears in his trooper outfit. Nevertheless, Trancers deserves its cult status, as I definitely think there does exist room for a remake. What do you guys think? Does Trancers really deserve the cult favourite status it enjoys? Should there be a remake? If yes, what do you think the remake should look like? If you haven't seen Trancers and would like to watch it, you can watch it through the great Blu-ray release by 88 Films, and also on the New Moons Features channel on Amazon Prime. And remember, dry hair is for squids.
Look out! Hey, you stinking old lady! She's a Trancer! Goddammit, help me!
And as always, if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more content like this. Share it with your friends and have them join in. I'll speak to you guys on the next review, and thanks for watching. Take care, and don't forget to follow me on the socials. I'll speak to you guys soon. Thanks a lot.